How do you do, G-Pop crew? It's your Nutty Buddy Putty here, and finally we are doing the full breakdown for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie. First and foremost, I did recently do my review. Make sure you go check that out. I will put the card up there, somewhere in the corner, so you guys can check it out, or it'll be at the end of this video, of course. But today we're breaking down 35 Easter eggs, ladies and gentlemen. I found more, and actually I had to break a couple down. For example, Tails comes from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Knuckles comes from Sonic the Hedgehog 3. They're already in the trailer, so I don't feel that's a real spoiler right there for you guys, so I think we're okay in that sense. But 35 Easter eggs, there's a lot to be done here, and I have references for every single Easter egg, from the video games, from the comic books, from the anime series, all of it. With that being said, if you haven't seen the movie yet, well, this is your warning. And again, if you're still here and you haven't seen the movie, spoiler warnings. Now, let me get through this as best as I can. So, again, we're going to start with number 1. Now, the first Easter egg we have is the Paramount stars that always begin before any Paramount movie, but instead they've been replaced with rings instead of stars. This happened in the first movie as well as now the second movie. Next, I have a double whammy because I had to insert this one in because I didn't think that you guys might not know this, but in the first movie you'll notice that Dr. Robotnik ended up in a mushroom world that Sonic didn't want to go into. And so, since they're referencing it back here, I figured it's an Easter egg no matter what. So, the location he's at is called Mushroom Hill Zone, which first appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And this also goes back to some other things that happened in that same area. For example, you'll notice on the rock of all the mushrooms, that contraption that Robotnik made, on the rock you'll notice a picture of a guy with a mustache, much like Robotnik. Well, this is the Eggman Empire logo that is commonly used in all sorts of Sonic media as an indication that that area of land is owned by Dr. Robotnik. And again, it appears on this boulder that then crushes the clay version of Sonic. You'll also witness that this Sonic creation falls into a bed of spikes. This is another nod to when Sonic would die on spikes in the game. Number 3. This is our first indication that Sonic can't swim, just like he can't in the video game. So when it comes to him falling out of the boat, this is while they're fishing, him and Tom. He's basically fallen asleep because of his escapades that night. Also, known fact, hedgehogs actually can swim, but the co-creator of Sonic, Yuji Naka, wasn't aware of this, and this is why Sonic can't swim in the video games. Number 4. Now, Sonic refers to himself as the Blue Blur, which is a common nickname for Sonic. Now, no one knows where this name originated exactly, but the name was said a lot in the Archie Sonic comics. Now, another known fact is that the Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comics are in the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest running comic book based on a video game. Now, the comic series started on November 22nd, 1992 and lasted until December 28th, 2016. Now, at that point, that's when the series was canceled. The last numbered issue was 290, but this is only a slim number when there was also like hundreds of spin-offs of the comics, as well as still holding this record to this day. Now, in this scene when Sonic is left home alone, he builds a makeshift loop-de-loop to skate in, much like his loop-de-loop days in the video game. Now, in the scene with the soap, you'll notice Sonic gets a mustache in the bubbles that he created himself, which is reminiscent of his Uncle Chuck, which also appeared in the cartoon as well as the comic books. Now, when Tails is looking for some kind of transportation, he finds a cop car in front of a coffee house. Well, that coffee house is called Mean Bean Cafe, which is actually an homage to Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which honestly later pays off when it shows that Agent Stone is set up Robotnik's new headquarters there. And as a personal note, I still own that video game. Cool, huh? Number 8. During the chase scene with Sonic and Tails, we see Knuckles glide right through the truck. This is something he also does in the video game, and this is kind of an homage to that. Number 9. Tails catches Sonic when he's falling off the cliff and begins to carry him while he's flying. Now this is, again, exactly something that can be done with a second player in the first Sonic the Hedgehog 2 game, as well as ongoing games like Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, when Robotnik attacks with all his badniks or robots, you'll notice there's a new robot that looks kind of not round, but a little awkward configured like a bug. This is called a Buzz Bomber and actually appeared in the first Sonic game and became a regular staple throughout all Sonic games. Number 11. Now you'll notice Knuckles is climbing the side of the cliff. This is actually, again, another ability that Knuckles has that you can see in the video game. Now, number 12, Robotnik summons his famous, or infamous, round pod. This is actually, again, infamous or famous for being in all the Sonic games, but you can see it here from the original Sonic game, perfectly round, just like the one in the movie. Number 13, Robotnik's Eggman Empire symbol again appears in the monitor in the Mean Bean Cafe, basically where the chalkboard is. Personal note, I don't know if there's an Easter egg on that chalkboard, but I really couldn't read it in both theaters, so maybe you can point it out in the comments. There wasn't any, the things I did read, though, didn't really have any kind of reference to the video game, comic books, or anything like that. Number 14. Now, a flashback refers to the 7 Chaos Emeralds that were then put together to make the Master Emerald. Now, in the video games, the Master Emerald and the 7 Chaos Emeralds are 2 separate things, but are still connected. The 7 Chaos Emeralds were spread out and left dormant within distortions on the South Island. Each emerald contains extraordinary powers, but when combined, creates superpowers, which of course also grants Sonic the power of Super Sonic, well, after he collects 50 rings. Now, the Master Emerald rests on Angel Island, and usually in the altar of the Emerald, where its power keeps the island afloat in the sky and is guarded by the current living Echidna from the Knuckles clan or Echidna tribe, depending on where it's referenced, comic books or video games. Now, Knuckles is the last known descendant to guard it. They keep guard of it because of its overwhelming powers. This first appeared in the Sonic and Knuckles video game. Number 15. Knuckles refers back to the Echidna tribe from the first movie, which is a direct link to both the Sonic Adventures game and the comic books. Number 16. Tails' device in the tavern, when they have like the dance-off, says Miles Multiplier, and this is the first indicator of his first name in the movie. His full name will be mentioned again later at the end of the movie. Number 17. Sonic calls Robotnik a mix of Professor X and the Monopoly guy. Now, just hearing Marvel references in this movie brings a smile to my face, but the Monopoly guy reference could also be a nod to the first Ace Ventura movie with the old man with the monocle scene. Number 18. Both Sonic and Knuckles snowboard down the mountain just like in the level Ice Cap Zone in the Sonic 3 game. Now this also includes the avalanche as well, though it doesn't end at a wedding, but just at another part of the level. Number 19. Now, Sonic calls Knuckles the Winter Soldier, which honestly works with the concept of them being enemies that are actually friends, or at least turn out to be friends. Again, this is another Marvel reference that just brings me a lot of joy. Number 20. When Sonic falls to the edge of the cliff after being hit, he drops his rings, just like he does in the video game. Number 21. Knuckles' father is shown briefly in a flashback. This is Locke the Echidna, and he actually appears in the Sonic Archie comics and is actually a major character in flashbacks. Number 22. Tails' iconic plane, the Tornado, flies over the wedding with a sign behind it. Number 23. Sonic music plays on Tom's phone during the wedding as his ringtone. This is actually the first level of Sonic the Hedgehog. Number 24. Master Emerald is in the Labyrinth Zone, which is a level in the first Sonic game. Now, if you look closely, you can see these these crystals in the movie, well, they're actually in the background of the game as well. So if you look back in the movie, you'll see those crystals. They look similar to these. This is that same level. Number 25. Sonic runs across the water, much like he is able to do in the Hydro City zone of Sonic 3. Number 26. So when Sonic actually lands at the beach after running over the water, you'll notice there's a crab that walks on the ground. I'm just pulling strings on this one. I probably could have deleted this as an Easter egg, but I think that's a reference to CRABMEAT, which is one of the original enemies that you fight in Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Number 27. Sonic slides down the water slides in the Labyrinth zone of the movie, but this is actually a reference to a location called Hydro City Zone. When he basically can run on top of the water, he also has these water slides that he goes down just like he does in the movie. Number 28. Sonic sucks in a water bubble while in the water to get air. This is something that happens in the video game, and it's actually really cool that they referenced it. Oh, and of course, after he rescues Knuckles, again, he can't swim, just like in the game. Number 29. Tails finally gets the tornado plane. I already brought that up earlier. Why would I reference that again? Because it's cool. Number 30. After Robotnik gets the Master Emerald, he creates a giant robot that's a cross between the Death Egg robot, just like in the Sonic 2 video game, and the giant Eggman robo in Sonic and Knuckles. And by sheer coincidence, I used the Death Egg robot intro in the game as my spoiler alert. Who knew I would kind of predict this one? Number 31. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles go into formation as they run down the street, much like in the Sonic Heroes video game. And guess what? I own that one too. Number 32. The instructions to Robotnik's Death Egg robot that Agent Stone uses is made to look just like an old Sega Genesis game manual. You can see one for Sonic 2 and the actual Sega Genesis console right here. Now, right before Sonic becomes Super Sonic, the 7 Chaos Emeralds begin to twirl and make the sound that you hear when you beat a bonus stage in the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 video game. Sonic becomes Super Sonic after the Master Emerald breaks and has the 7 Chaos Emeralds, which turn him into Super Sonic just like in the game. Sonic calls out Tails' full name at the baseball field, which is Miles Tails Prower. Now, if you take out the Tails nickname in his name then becomes Miles Prower, like miles per hour. And this was actually his actual name in the original game, as you can see here in the manual. The mid-credits scene. Yes, this, ladies and gentlemen, is Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow the Hedgehog first appeared in Sonic Adventure 2 and became one of Sonic's best rivals. And if Jim Carrey does not come back to play the role of Robotnik, don't worry, we have Shadow to take over that field. And there you guys have it. Those are all the Easter eggs, fully broken down. There's something I missed, which honestly I'd be surprised if I did, because let's see here, I watched it twice and I went through everything I can think of outside of the chalkboard. Again, the chalkboard in the A Mean Bean Cafe was probably the hardest to even find anything. But if there's any other Easter eggs I missed, honestly, I'd be surprised. But I would love to know. If you did, if you're able to actually tell me every Easter egg I missed, make sure you go ahead and comment below. And if it's very obvious things like Sonic can run fast, I mean, come on now. They've all put a trail of each color, the yellow, blue, and red. I mean, those are obvious things. You know what I mean? Those are things that are definitely not. But I want to know what you guys think. Tell me in the comments below. What did you like about the Easter eggs? What did you like about the movie? And just in general, what did you like about the whole thing? Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. And as always, I'm Putty with the G-Pot Crew. And you know what we do. Break down these great movies. I'll see you guys in my next review. Peace.